guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a video just about some makeup tricks and tips, some advice especially for beginners and for women of color, and also advice about brushes and makeup applications. So hope you guys enjoyed this video and let's start. By the way, the reason there's like an angel back there is because that was my Halloween costume my sophomore year of college, and my name is Angel. So I thought I'll just leave it up there, you know, aesthetic. I'm gonna start from the top to bottom. Let me take my glasses off because the ring light's like reflecting. Okay, so like I said, let me start from the top to bottom. With eyebrows, it's always good to have a spoolie brush. You need a spoolie brush. That's a necessity because it pushes the hair up, so it helps you to like find a better starting point when you're doing your line at the bottom and line at the top. And also you can use it to blend the product into your brows, and you can use it to like feather out the front and all that. So you definitely need a spoolie brush. I got this from e.l.f. You can find them anywhere. They're really cheap from e.l.f. They're like $1. You're gonna need some type of, if you're using like a dip brow pomade, like a pomade type product, you need an angled brush because it's easier just to like dip it in there, and an angled brush helps you to like carve out a shape better. So I suggest that. You can also use pencils. I've seen people use like Anastasia dip brow, like the Brow Wiz, any type of eyebrow pencil. Some people use powders, but angled brush is always good if you're using a powder or a pomade. And for brows, you want to get a color that matches your root color. For me, my hair is really dark brown, so that's why I switched over to ebony, because I was using chocolate before, but I found that it was kind of light and I didn't really like it too much, so I switched to ebony and it matches my hair and it makes it look better. Next, with eyeshadow, you want to, especially for women of color, you want to prime your eyelids. That's like the biggest thing, because for me personally, first of all, you need to prime your eyelids because it makes sure the product stays in place and it makes sure it like has a smooth application. But also with people of color, we have darker skin, so if you're applying some eyeshadows, it's not going to come up on your skin if, you know, you're using a color like for my Morphe palette. If you're using a lot of these light shades in this area, even like the oranges and even the reds sometimes, they don't show up that well on our skin tone without a base. It's good to use a concealer to prime. I use the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I need more, but I use it in the color Deep. This is about like 2 or 3 shades lighter than my skin tone, so that's the best thing. Some people use like a white base because it just creates a blank canvas, and then you want to definitely set whatever you use to prime with translucent powder, because then that makes it smooth and easy to blend the shadows. Because I'm telling you, like, if you don't prime your eyelids, for sure your eyeshadow is gonna not even like apply smoothly. And second of all, if you are dark in complexion, it's not gonna show up, and then you're gonna be disappointed and wonder, oh, why is the colors coming up on me, blah blah blah. Create a canvas, prime your eyelids. Next thing is face. There's so many things I can say about face because there's so many that goes into it. The main thing is moisturize, especially in the winter time. You need to moisturize. For me, my favorite moisturizer is the Clean and Clear Dual Action Moisturizer. I use this after I wash my face in the morning and at night, and I always apply a layer before I do my makeup. I apply it more heavily during the winter because my skin, I do have combination skin, so my skin sometimes is really oily, sometimes it's really dry, but in the winter time it's mostly dry, so I make sure I moisturize really good. Moisturizer is very, very important because it like creates a barrier between your skin and the makeup, and it prevents caking of your foundation, and it just, you want your skin to be nourished and you want the makeup to apply smoothly. So please use a moisturizer. I apply this, and then I usually, I ran out of this, but I apply my rose water spray. This is like a good primer also, but it's also very moisturizing. Like, rose water spray is so good, and it smells good. And then I'll usually use like a primer that you could like apply like directly on your face. So like I like using this lately, the Benefit Pore Professional Primer. This is very similar to the Maybelline Baby Skin Primer. I like using that, but that's usually, it's always, I like using 3 things before I do my makeup: moisturizer, moisturizing spray, and then a primer. Very important, or your makeup will move around or look like caked on. Next, with foundation, you want to have multiple foundations. I find it best to have maybe 3 shades of foundation, because your skin color does change throughout the year. For me, it's winter time, so I'm the lightest that I am all year, and I had to use a lighter foundation than I do for the summer. Like I just got my foundation from NARS, and the color that I got, I feel like will match me better in the winter. The color that I got, I feel like will match me better in the summer than right now, just because my skin is lighter. So when I applied the NARS foundation, I was like, this is a little too dark, but this is my summer shade, so this would be great for the summer. And then you have like your transition shade, like going into like the summer going into fall. Like my skin is like medium shade. Like right now it's lightest, in summer it's the darkest, and then like going into fall when your skin is starting to like lighten up, you want to have a shade for that time of year also. And that's also the same for going into from winter to summer. So have multiple shades of foundation, because you don't want to end up, you know, it's winter time and in the summer you're 2 shades darker, and here you are stuck with your summer foundation and you just look crazy. So okay, for women of color, please get your foundation matched. A big problem that a lot of us have is that there's not that many options for foundations. Don't settle. Like if anything, order something online, try to find a company that's women of color friendly. Don't settle for drugstore brands that don't have your shade, or even high-end brands, because you don't want to look crazy. Also, don't use your friend's makeup if they're not the same skin tone as you, because you know, you don't want to look crazy. If you're dark skin, you don't want to use your brown skin or light skin friend's concealer, foundation, because it's not for your skin tone. Like if you're darker skin and you're using like somebody that's my shade foundation, it's gonna look ashy. Like it's not matching your skin tone. Even like my concealer I use is 2 shades lighter than my skin tone, not your skin tone. So you want to make sure you use your own products when it comes to foundation, like eyeshadow, lipsticks. Go ahead, share that with your friends, but you don't really want to share foundation unless you guys are like a perfect match, because foundation is really important to have in your color, and concealer. Anything that you're putting on your like face is important that matches your specific skin tone and type, because everybody has different skin types also, and lots of foundations go based off skin type. Like I have, like I said, combination skin, so sometimes I like using my Makeup Forever foundation stick, because like when my skin is more like dry, that adds moisture. Like that's really good for dry skin in my opinion. It's like very creamy, so I like using that for my skin sometimes. And sometimes I like using liquid foundation. Like I'll use my True Match, or sometimes I use my Maybelline Fit Me Matte. When my skin wants to be oily, I'll use my matte foundation. Like I just have different foundations for my type of skin and my color and my undertones, because that's another thing too. Like especially with women of color, we all have different undertones. I have yellowish undertones in my skin, so you want to make sure you get foundations if you have warm undertones, if you have cool undertones, if you have red undertones, neutral undertones. There's just so much. That's why I just don't share foundation with any of my friends. I make sure, even if I do my friends' makeup, I always use their foundation and their concealer, because we all have different skin colors and undertones, and it's just so much that goes into it. It's just not worth it to end up looking crazy if you don't use the right stuff. With translucent powder, I use this lately is RCMA No Color powder. I really love Laura Mercier translucent powder. That was actually my favorite. This is what I'm using now, just because I need to get some more. Banana powder is overrated. Like some people really love it. Like I liked it at first, but I found it that it just has flashback. And what flashback is if you take a picture with flash on your camera, or someone takes a picture of you, you just look ashy. It's not cute. So Laura Mercier translucent powder, no flashback. I love that one. This one doesn't have flashback either, and this one was cheap. But I want to try Sacha Buttercup powder because I know that's women of color friendly. Sometimes these translucent powders do kind of leave a slight white cast that I see sometimes, depending on how much I baked or if I put too much powder. But the Sacha Buttercup has more of like a yellowish undertone, which I really want to try. I think that's gonna be my next powder to see how much I love it. With concealer, you want to use for your highlighting, you want to use a concealer that is 2 shades lighter than your shade, like your skin tone. If you want to like have extreme highlight, like I like extreme highlighting. I like looking very like over the top. But some people, they like to just use like a shade, like 1 shade lighter under their eyes, just to like, you know, clean up their look and have like a very light highlight. For under your brows, 2 shades. I like using 2 shades lighter. Same for my highlighting. And then for on top of my brows, when I clean those up, I like using 1 shade lighter, just because like you don't want to have halo looking brows. For women of color, if you do have hyperpigmentation, because I have hyperpigmentation, I recommend LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Orange Corrector. You can get orange concealer anywhere, but I recommend using orange concealer. I use it sometimes like if I feel like going over the top. I don't use it every day because it's too much work. But if I'm going out somewhere and like I just want to have full coverage, I always use this. And like I get hyperpigmentation on my mouth and like I get dark spots under my eyes, and I have a scar on my nose, so I use this in those areas. And I know us black women or any woman of color, we're so like susceptible to hyperpigmentation, so that is very important to have in your makeup collection. Next, blush. You want to make sure you have richer tones. I'm happy that I found this e.l.f. blush. They have like a darker palette now. Like I was using a lighter one and it wasn't like that bad on me, but like they have a darker palette, and like these colors are a little darker. Like not really this one, but like these 3, they look darker in person. You see, like they're pretty dark. Like this is very bright light, so it looks darker in person. But I'm glad they came out with like the darker shades. They didn't have that in my store, but for women of color especially, blush is important. Like you want to have a deep colored blush. You want to have like more of like a deep berry color. I don't really like pinks, like bright pinks, because that's the thing, like light pink blush on dark skin, no, it looks crazy. You look like a clown. Please don't do that. If you go out looking like that, your friends don't love you, because I've seen too many examples. No shade, but please use darker blush. Don't use a light blush on your skin tone. You need to like use products that just coincide with your skin tone. You just have to get stuff that matches your skin tone and, you know, complements your skin tone. So with blush, darker shades. Next, same goes for lipstick. Let me tell you guys, honestly, I have some lipsticks, but so like specifically out of all my lipsticks, these 4 I find to be too light for me. This is Screenshot by ColourPop, Speed Dial by ColourPop, Echo Park by ColourPop, and then Sandstorm by NYX. It's a liquid suede. These are very light, and surprisingly, one of these colors I'm wearing today. Using some of these shades, your lips look crazy. Like you look like you just put your lips in ash. You look like Dave Chappelle when he did his crackhead skit. If you end up like me buying these and realizing they're too light for you and it didn't really look like how exactly you wanted it to, what I do and what I did today is I used my I was over there, I'm forgetting. I used my ColourPop color Limbo, which is like a medium brown, and I lined around the color. I think I used Screenshot today. I lined around it, and then I dabbed it in, like I blended the brown into this peachy color, and it created this nude look. So that really is like the way to solve that problem. If the lipstick is too light, put some lip liner around it, put a darker lipstick around it, and try to blend it and make it look more nude, because other than that it just looks crazy. It will just look like, I don't know. I'm just telling you guys, I've seen some crazy stuff in my 20 years of living. And it's like, not judging. We all go through things, we all learn. Like my makeup used to look crazy. And you know, I'm still not exactly where I want to be, so it's not me here judging. You know, I just hate it when people don't like to take advice, or they think when you give advice you're like, I'm better than you. No, I'm just trying to help. Okay, and last but not least, I'm just gonna talk about brushes real quick. I kind of talked about it a little bit, I talked about the eyebrow brush already, but with the face, I haven't opened these yet, but if you guys watch my videos, you know I always use my Real Techniques beauty blender. I want to get a real beauty blender one day, just to see, you know, if it's, people say that's the best of the best. Like, this is a very close dupe. But for beauty blender, I like to use that to blend out my concealer under my eyes. I used to use it for foundation all the time, but I'm kind of straying away from that and just using it for my under eye concealer and like everywhere else, like where I conceal at. But lately for foundation, I've been using these Jessup brushes. This one's more dense than this one, but I love using these to blend out my foundation because I feel like it just, I don't know, it's so much easier to blend and it's faster compared to a beauty blender because you're getting like a lot more product on your brush and just blending it. So these are both really good. I like this one a little bit better because it is more dense, so it kind of packs it in there. I use a lot of xoxo brushes, to be honest, but I do have to say, invest in brushes. Like, for me, I never really saw the importance of brushes back when I didn't know how to do makeup or barely was interested, but as I'm learning, brushes do make the difference. I'm telling you guys, like, you might be disappointed at how a product is like coming out on you, but you're not realizing it. It's not the product, it's your brush. If you're using like a really cheap brush, and it's not even like cheap because e.l.f. is cheap, Real Techniques is cheap, they're good quality, but if you're using like some random brush you found like, I don't know, in your beauty supply store, no brand, nothing, you're not always gonna have like the best time with your makeup, because you're gonna wonder why, oh my god, everybody said this Makeup Forever foundation is so great, but why does it look like this on me? Oh, this eyeshadow would be super pigmented, why does it look like this on me? Your brushes. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're using a really good brush, you will see it changes like your application. But anyway, like I was saying, for face, I use this e.l.f. complexion blush. I use this to, you know, blend everything together, to apply finishing powder. This multitask brush from Real Techniques I use to dust away powder and like all the places I highlight at. Eyes, Morphe brushes are the best. I'm so happy like I decided to get Morphe brushes because it was like literally Morphe brushes changed my life, and they're really inexpensive, like really cheap. I think this was like $4.99. I have the 441 and the 433. These are good for blending. I use this usually with my transition shades or like my base shades, and then this I use like in my crease, the 433. I also have these Real Technique blush. I have these Real Technique brushes for the eyes. This one's like a base shadow brush, but this one reminds me of the M433. They're really similar. Yeah, but I use this in my crease or the pack shadow in the outer V. This is a crease brush. I never really used this, but I don't really know. It says a crease brush, so I guess maybe this could probably really be a good blending brush. These are the BH Cosmetic brushes that I use. One of them is actually missing. I don't know where it's at, but that's the one. Like, it's like a flat brush. I just used it to do my makeup. Oh, here it is. It's this flat brush. These all came in a set of 7. I think all of them are here. 4, 5, 6. One missing. But they came in like a set of 7 on BH Cosmetics. They're really cheap too. I use this to like blend sometimes, or apply translucent powder. This I use to like apply my like shadow that goes on my lid. And then I have all these small ones like the angle one I use something to cut my crease, and like this I use for base shadow also. Just those. And then these e.l.f. ones are good too, but I barely use these for eyeshadow. I usually just use them to contour my nose with, or to like apply under brow highlighter. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about this brush right here. This is the Morphe 510 M510 brush. My favorite brush to highlight with. Like, I don't really like using fan brushes. I really haven't had a good fan brush, but this one's from Sonia Kashuk, and this one's pretty good. But this one for applying highlighter is key. Like, I'm telling you guys, people always like, oh my god, Mal, what's your like, what do you use? What highlighter do you use? I'm like, I use the highlighter everybody be using, Glow Kit, Laura Geller, Gills and Honey, Mackerel Deposit, Champagne Pop, Wet n Wild highlighter. Like, these are all highlighters you could easily accessible. And I see lots of people who use the same highlighters I use. I'm just like, why don't theirs like shine as bright as mine? And I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm almost 99% positive because of the brushes they use. I feel like lots of people don't use the right brushes, so they're using these highlighters that look so pigmented when you swatch them, but then once you put them on your skin, you're like, where's the glow? Get a good brush. I'm telling you, I could literally dip one thing. Like, I can use my Glow Kit right now, and I could dip into Sun Rays like that twice, and like swipe 4 times, and my glow just looks like this. Like, I don't even use that much highlighter sometimes. Like, it might look like I use a whole bunch, but a lot of times I literally would just like do like 3 swipes, and I'm like, whoa, my highlight looks popping, and I just swipe 3 times and dip twice. Like, it's really, brushes are really important. Can't emphasize that anymore. I learned that through my process, and yeah, like, get brushes, invest in brushes. I want to buy more brushes. Like, that's my next thing. I want to get a lot more like brushes. I definitely want to get more Morphe brushes because I love them. I want to try Sigma because I know all the hype. Luxie brushes I know are good. Jessup brushes are good dupes for Sigma brushes. Yeah, this is a whole bunch of, like, brushes are really important. I don't think I can say that anymore. Like, it really is. Like, it does make a difference. Guys, also what's important with brushes is cleaning them. Clean your brushes once a week, or once every 2 weeks. What I use is this little thing I got from eBay. Like, I use this to like, the way I just put my finger in there. I use it like that. And then I use baby head to toe wash. I use this to clean it. It works really, 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 really good. So please wash your brushes, because that could prevent your makeup from looking good too, because you have a lot of product buildup. Like, especially with eyeshadow brushes, it's not going to blend that well if you're using an eyeshadow brush that has a lot of buildup shadow on it. And also, that's just nasty. You get a whole bunch of like acne and like dirty skin if you're using dirty brushes. So please clean your brushes at least once a week. If you're using makeup a lot, like if you're using makeup every day like me, once a week is good. If you don't really use makeup that much, once every 2 weeks. But yeah, washing your brushes is key also. Yeah, skincare is key. Take care of your skin, wipe your makeup off every night. I like to do a weekly mask. I use the Aztec Indian clay mask. I used to use that all the time, but my skin really cleared up. Yeah, skincare is key. Like, you want a good base. You don't want to be putting makeup on top of skin that's not, if you have bad skin, some people just have bad skin and they're able to cover it really well. But if you can control it, please do the best you can to keep your skin clean and clear. And yeah, so that is about it. Yeah, I can't really think of any more tips or advice. That's just stuff I learned through other YouTubers or through like beauty influencers on Instagram and stuff and Twitter. Like, those people keep doing your job because you guys are teaching me a lot, and I just learned a lot on my own. Like, a lot of stuff I'm telling you guys I learned on my own. I learned the hard way. So just want to give you guys some tips for somebody who's just beginning to really get the feel for this makeup stuff. Like, I've only really been doing my makeup like this for the past year and a half. Like, it hasn't been that long. Freshman year of college, I just wore eyeshadow. Oh, not even wear eyeshadow. Freshman year of college, I did my eyebrows, I wore mascara and a lipstick. Like, I didn't do nothing with makeup. And I'm a junior in college, so it wasn't that long. Like, I really am new to this too. Like, I'm still learning. So I'm just giving you guys tips and advice for stuff that I learned recently and would like to help a lot of beginners out, so you guys could like skip all the painful process that most of us have to go through. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for other videos that are coming soon. I really want to do a drugstore makeup tutorial, just to show you guys how easy it is to get a beat face using all drugstore products. And then maybe just do my everyday makeup routine, show you guys like a look like today, my everyday go to class look. Yeah, sometimes I do go to class like this. I'm extra, it's okay. Don't be mad. Just kidding. But yeah, so stay tuned for more videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I'll see you guys during my next video.